Next speaker is Dr. B.S. Sridharan. Sir, may I request you to come onto the dais? Department of PG Studies in Panchakarma, Government Ayurvedic Medical College, Bangalore. He is a gold medalist from Karnataka University in degree 1988 and a postgraduate in Kai Chikitsa from AMC Mysore 1991. Dr. Sridhara is having vast teaching experience of 22 years and a very good practitioner. He has guided many PG students in Panchakarma, published papers, delivered many lectures in state and outside the state, from state level seminars to international level seminars. He will be presenting a disc herniation case. Dr. Sridhar.
Gurubhyo Namaha. Respected chairperson of the session, Dr. Krishnamurthy sir, my beloved Guru, Dr. Gopinath sir, all assembled dignitaries and delegates. It's a small experience sharing from my side. Being a physician, what needed in Ayurveda is we have to share our experiences. Here is an opportunity for me to share my small experience with all of you regarding the management of disc lesion. Based on the Samhita, how I have understood the disc lesion and what are the possible managements I can provide, that I have shown in this presentation. However, in the earlier speakers on this day have clearly mentioned that treatment is individualized, pratipurusham apeksham, but changes can be made according to the situation. A broad line of treatment can be established as a standard protocol, not everything and every individualized. Next slide, please. Intervertebral disc. See, you know, the axial skeleton is joined with the intervertebral disc, which is made up of outer fibers, the annulus fibrosus, and inner gelatinous nucleus pulposus. When we think about the consistency of this annulus fibers, this fibrosis, many times we can think that the disc lesions are leading to gridhrasi. A vyadhi, vata vyadhi, is considered as a snayugata vyadhi. Can we think that involvement of snayu, a fibrous material, as a annulus fibrosis is concerned, and internal gelatinous material, the nucleus pulposus, can we compare it with the sandhi shleshaka kapha, which is in the sandhis, which provides the cushion effect in between the vertebral joints and acts as a shock absorber. You know, vertebral joints are minimum movable joints compared to the appendicular skeleton. So in these joints, a cushion type and a shock absorber type facilitates the smooth movement of these vertebral joints. Next. Then what is disc lesion? So there are many causes are there for disc lesion. The significant changes in volume, shape, and biochemical composition of the disc. So there are major causes are spondylosis, spondylitis, herniation, and spondylolisthesis. These are the four major causes considered to be to change the structure of the disc or causing the kavai gunya in the samprapti of the disc lesion. Next. One among them is disc herniation. When we think about the disc herniation, see, the annulus fibrosis is broken and the nucleus pulposus is coming out. We can think that the shleshaka kapha is coming out from the joint, and later it is causing the obstruction in the pathways, that is vatavahi dhamanis. We can say vatavahi dhamanis, it is causing the obstruction. The kavai gunya is leading to the margavarana. Next. So how to understand it in Ayurveda? As I have told now, in the Sandhisleshaka kapha is there. Sandhi is a kapha sthana. When we look into the Gatavata conditions, Amashaya Gate Vate Kafe Pakvashaya Ashrite Ruksha Purum Hita Svedaha Sneha Purum Statayevacha. So in Amashaya Gatavata conditions, Amashaya is a kapasthana. And Vata, Amashaya Gatavata condition, a Ruksha Purvaka Snigdha Sveda is indicate. In the commentary, Chakrapani says that Amashe Gate Vate Ruksha Purvaha Sthanapekshaya Purvam Ruksham Krutva Paschat Vatapekshaya Snigdham Karyam. Amashe Shabdena Kafasthanam Jayam. Kafasthanapekshaya hi Pratamam Ruksha Kriyate. So in Kafasthana, whenever Vata is the Agantuja dosha, then we should think of first Ruksha Sveda, then Snigdha Sveda. Based on this principle, I have guided one dissertation work, whereas in cervical disc lesion leading to the Manyastamba, it is also called as Trikasthana. Trika means the neck and both the shoulders joining, three parts joining together. It is Trikasthana. According to Sushruta, Trika is once again a Kafasthana. There we have tried with a Rukshapuraka Snigdha Sveda. It has given wonderful result, underlining the line of treatment or principle of treatment. Next. The one more line of treatment means, so disc lesion, if it is compared to be a Vata Vyadhi, leading to the Gridrasi or Katigata Vata, Vayur Dhatu Kshayat Kopo Margasyavanenava. The Samprapti of Vata Vyadhi, whatever it may be, of two types. Either it should be a Vata Dhatu Kshaya or it should be a Margavarna. Or Margavarna leading to the Dhatu Kshaya, or Dhatu Kshaya leading to the Margavarna. Both conditions, these conditions are possible. This is very clearly we can think in the disc lesions. Many times the disc herniation is a clearly a kapha avarna in Vatavahidamanis. This Margavarna is caused. And disc degeneration resulting in narrowing of the disc space, that is Dhatu Kshaya. Usually predisposing factors are there. If the vertebral bodies are unable to nourish the disc properly, because nourishment goes to the disc through the vertebral bodies, just like a new earthen pot. If you keep water in a new earthen pot, how it penetrates the earthen vessel. Similarly, whatever the nutrients are gone to the body of the vertebra, they will be trespassing to the vertebral disc. So when the disc has become degeneration, means even vertebral body degeneration can also cause the degeneration to the vertebral disc. Disc becomes weak. So it is a Dhatu Kshaya. So even Kapha Kshaya can also take place, where the dehydration of the disc takes place. But Snayu, when the Kapha Kshaya takes place, the Snayu means that annulus fibrosis material, it will become weak and it will be causing disc prolapse. Next. So the Snayu, then we should think of the Snayu Gata Vata Chikitsa. In Snayu Gata Vata Chikitsa, Snehopanaha Agni Karma Bandhana Unmardhanani cha Snayu Sandhyasti Samprapte Kuryad Vayu Atandritaha. So in Sneha Upanaha Agni Karma Bandhana Unmardhana. So these are the line of treatment mentioned in Snayu Gata Vata. So when Dhatu Kshaya is the cause, then leading to the weakness of the disc and disc prolapse is causing the obstruction, Margavarana, or any lesion, disc lysis or losis causing the avarana, then we should think about the Snayugata Vata line of treatment. So prolapse, listhesis, Snayugata avarana. So in Snayugata avarana, so we should select this kind of treatment, Upanaha, Agnikarma, Bandhana and Unmardhana. So one more condition is also there. We know that in Vata Vyadhis, Marmabhigata. Marmabhigata causes the Vata Vyadhis. So, any trauma can cause Marmabhigata. Marmabhigata leads to the Rakta Dushti and Shonitavarajanya Vata condition will be there. So, in any case of trauma, that is Rakta Avrate Sadaharti Tvak Mamsantarajo Brisham Kuryat Saragaha Shveyaturjayante Mandalanicha. So, in trauma cases, a severe tenderness will be seen in the lumbosacral region. How to identify this Marmabhigata means a severe tenderness will be there. If tenderness is there, then and a history of trauma is there, then we should think that it is because of Marmabhigata, where Rakta Mokshana, a Siravyada type of Rakta Mokshana will be more useful. So all this is seen in different cases. In the next slide please. In case 1, see, a patient named aged about 39 years, complaints of pain in low back, lower limbs, neck since 8 years. She is also complaints of mild numbness in left lower limb, unable to lie down in supine position and squatting position, and even the SLR test is unable to lie down in supine position and it's 0. She cannot even lift her limb. Sleep is also disturbed due to the pain. Next. So you can see in the MRI scan, the L5S1 disc herniation is there, intending the neural foramina. You can see that. Next, L5 and S1 disc right paracentral protrusion is there, impinging on the transversing nerve roots. So even L4, L5 disc protrusion is also there. So in this case, disc protrusion is there, so no herniation. The nucleus pulposus has not come out. Only disc is causing this one. Snayugata Vadi. So line of treatment is selected. Next. So immediately first we have started with the Ruksha Pinda Sweda with the Kola Kulatadi Churnam for 3 days. That is Ruksha Chikissa. Then Dhanyamala Dara for 3 days. The pain has reduced. Then after Ruksha Puraka Snigdha Sweda, then we have started with the Ruksha Puraka Sweda. We have started with Kati Pichu with oil for 7 days, and Eranda Muladi Nirobasti and the Shamana Ushadhyas are followed up. So why Eranda Muladi Nirobasti is selected here? Means in Charaka Siddhisthana 3rd chapter, in Kafavrata Vata condition, Eranda Muladi Nirobasti is mentioned. So that's why Eranda Muladi Nirobasti is selected in this case. Next. So after the treatment, patient is able to lie down in supine position, can sit in squatting position, numbness is reduced, pain is reduced according to the patient 40%, sleep is improved, and SLR test is more than 80 degree both right and left limbs. So this is the case of Kafavrata condition. We have started with the Ruksha Sweda, then followed with the Snigdha Sweda, and with the Kafa Avaranajanya Vata, Eranda Muladi Nirobasti is used. Next. In case 2, here a patient is named, is a very old case. The chronicity is more 2 years. So here, see, right, SLR test is 30 degree in the right. Next. Here also you can see the weakness is there. We can think that here Dhatukshaya is first. Dhatukshaya is causing the Margavarana. And it is a chronic case, 2 years old, so there is no much involvement of kapha. Hence we have started with the Ruksha Sweda. Next slide please. See, Ruksha Pinda Sweda, 1 day we have started, because there is no much involvement of the kapha. Hence in 1 day Ruksha Pinda Sweda, the pain is increased. Then we thought of, oh, no, here we should not continue with the Ruksha Pinda Sweda. Then we started immediately Snigdha Sweda, that is Katibasti. Then Sarvanga Abhyanga with Kukutanda Sweda, followed with the Matra Basti with Gugulu Tiktaka Grita. Matra Basti we have started, and Shamana Ushadhyas are given, and the patient is improved. Next slide please. So at the time of discharge, pain is reduced around 65%. SLR test, right, active and passive increased up to 70 degree. After 15 days of treatment, same above condition is maintained. So here see, the Dhatukshaya has caused Margavarana. That's why we have given Matra Basti, and Snigdha Sweda is given. That's why patient is benefited. Next. In the case 3, A patient named Suresh, aged 37 years, complaint of pain in right side of the low back, buttocks, calf region since 10 days. But history of trauma is there, fall a month back. Onset is sudden. Severe tenderness is noticed in L4, L5 region. So I have told it's a marmabhigata janya vyadhi, and SLR test right side was 60 degree. So marmabhigata janya vyadhi. Then we have selected Rakta Mokshana, that is Siravyada. Next. Next slide, please. So for Rakta Mokshana, as a Purva Karma, 3 days Tila Yavagupana is given. Third day, Siravyada is done to the right leg. About 50 ml of blood came out for 18 minutes. Then Samsarjana is done. Eranda Muladi Nirobasti is given later. A Kalabasti, Shamanoshad is also given. So after the treatment, next. Before Siravyada, the SLR test was 60 degree and it is increased to 90 degree. At the time of discharge, pain was reduced to about 80%. So 1 month after follow-up also pain condition is stable. So patient is improved after the Siravyada because the Raktavarna, Shonitavarna Janyavata condition where Siravyada is the right treatment. So it is given. Next. Here, these 3 cases are in the lumbosacral region disc lesion. Now, one more case is in the cervical region. Here, a male patient named Rama, aged about 35 years, complains pain and stiffness in neck region. Pain and discomforts also felt in left shoulder joint and arm since 3 months. So I have told already, it is a Trikasthana. Trikasthana is again Kafasthana. Next. So you can C6, C7 left paracentral disc protrusion is there, causing moderate and severe indentation of the left C7 nerve root. So next slide. So here Ruksha Sweda, one more type of Ruksha Sweda I have selected because I always believe that Panchakarma can be done for the poorest of poor and richest of rich. So all the provisions are made in the Panchakarma. So Tusha Pinda Sweda, it is economically cheaper than the other Churna Pinda Sweda. Tusha Pinda Sweda, just a paddy husk is sufficient. It is made warm with the Saindava Lavana. So Tusha Pinda Sweda is given for 3 days. Then Sthanika, Abhyanga and Kanakataila followed with Kukutanda Sweda is given for the next 4 days. And Nasya Karma is Maharaja Prasarani Taila for 7 days, along with Griva Basti, the Ashwagandha Bala Lakshadi Taila for 7 days. Again, Ruksha Purvaka, Snigdha Sweda is followed. Next slide, please. The stiffness is reduced immediately after the Ruksha Sweda. Pain reduced after Kukutanda Sweda. After Nasya and Griva Basti in the 2nd week, both pain and stiffness is considerably reduced. Shamana Ushadis are given. Then neck strengthening exercises are advised. So in all these disc lesions, next. Some Patya Apatya should be followed regularly. So a complete bed rest should be given in a lumbosacral disc lesion cases. A rest is also a 50% of the treatment I used to tell my patient. A complete bed rest in a hard surface is required. Then for the recovery after the treatment, then yoga vyayama is also essential. And it is in the morning session also, some dignitary has mentioned about yoga and Ayurveda should not be separate. To become a successful Ayurvedic physician, knowledge of yoga is also essential, what I believe along with the Jyotishya. So yoga vyayama we should advise for this patient. Once the pain is completely reduced, you can advise the yoga vyayama to strengthen the back strengthening and neck strengthening exercises. So in the lumbosacral disc lesion, the Bhujangasana breathing, with the synchronized breathing, inhale and exhale, the Bhujangasana breathing technique from S. Vyasa University, it is very useful. And Ekapada Shalabhasana with the synchronized breathing also very useful. And Ekapada Pavanamuktasana without lifting the head, because forward bending is completely contraindicated in the lumbosacral disc lesion. That's why without lifting the head, this Ekapada Pavanamuktasana is indicated. And in cervical disc lesion, all neck range of movements except forward bending with synchronized with breathing has to be done. And all shoulder range of movements synchronized with breathing is required. These 2 kinds of exercises are required for a complete recovery from the problem. Next. These are the, we have to correct the postures also. So in many times for disc lesion, the irregular posture is also one of the cause. So many times in such cases, we have to tell them how to sit. See 90%, 90-degree angle, see which one should not be and which should be. And knee height position is very important. Many times in office or in our workplace, we use some luxury chairs, but gradually it causes a problem. But actually our chair should be in knee height and it should be 90-degree angle. So that is very important. Even in workplaces also, we should advise them when they are doing in computer work or anything, or writing work is there, please advise them to use the pads so that they can sit in 90-degree angle. And in between the work also, if a long hours they have to work, they have to take rest in between. This is required. With this Vyayama, we can manage disc lesion effectively. This is my experience. And I thank the organizers and all the dignitaries and the delegates for having given me this opportunity to share my knowledge with you people. And I thank my gurus and the Shastras for giving me this knowledge to treat few people who are suffering with the disc lesion. Thank you one and all.